Whether we like it or not, he's the self-proclaimed governor of Mid-Missouri, and he's the host of TTBS, the podcast. Since we can't shut him the hell up, here's Tom Bradley.
Thank you, Nikki. And maybe this is a good morning. This is a good podcast to address the whole governor of Mid-Missouri thing to some degree. I think that might be a good idea.
I love it.
And I think we're going to have the time in order to do such a thing. We are live from Truman's Bar and Grill. You know, I'm going to address a bunch of stuff today. All right. So I've had a couple of people, including Tom Dresner, who was on with us last week.
Yeah.
And Tom, I'm not trying to out you. It's just what you said. So why did you guys decide to be here at Truman's Bar and Grill? But I've had other people ask me, a handful, they're like, why are you at Truman's? And I'm like, you're an idiot to have to ask me, because we've got a bar and breakfast and dinner and service out here, and they're open at this time of the morning.
Yeah.
Where would you like me to go?
Yep.
And I don't want to be in some back office somewhere. I want to be out there.
Yep.
Jerry, I'm out there. That's what I want to be. I want to be just a thin layer of gabardine between me and the rest of the world. And so at Truman's last week, I mentioned to you that they've got this Valentine's party coming up a week from Saturday, which is Valentine's Day lands on a Saturday night this year.
Yep.
So that's a big deal.
Yep.
And
if you didn't know that, guys, now you do, and
better
start
make plans.
scrambling.
They're doing a singles mingles Valentine's party at Truman's. I didn't ever done this before. Saturday, February 14th, speed dating at 7 p.m. That is, I've never really done speed dating, but you know what I mean. That's my cup of tea.
Now, hang on.
I'm saying the old in and out. And
have you ever done dating on speed?
No, I've never done that. I've never done that either. I've only really, as an adult, if you will, dated one person, and that would be Deb.
Yep.
Which started when I was 16 and she was 15.
Me too, yeah. Jenny and I started talking to each other at 11 and 14. We didn't date then. But
I can't believe she was 14 and you were 11.
The other way around, but
whatever. Scavenger hunt bingo they're going to have as well, and karaoke going on. Some more details coming up. And then 1 month later, they're going to be having a party on Saturday, March 14th for St. Patty's Day. More details on that. Nice. The other guy you're listening to over here would be Ellis Bennis of floatingaxe.com. And I want to ask you something. We rely on you to explain what the hell we're supposed to be doing technically and digitally, right?
Sure.
And I want to ask you something right now. I wrote it down to make sure I didn't miss anything over here. How are we doing when it comes to podcasts, shorts, social media, video and audio platforms, AI, etc., etc.?
Hey, I think we're doing great, especially the shorts you've been ripping out lately have been awesome. So if you guys didn't know, make sure you follow us on the Facebook page, on YouTube. Tom's been doing some really cool extra shorts. I hope he's wearing shorts during them. But we've got like the closed captioning on there. Like, we are pro, man. You've got background music. Like, man, we're getting there. We are. It's like Rogan and then us, you know?
The problem is now people expect more.
That's true, yeah.
Give them a bologna sandwich, no condiments, you're done. And then you put cheese on it one day.
Yep.
Next thing you know, everybody's bitching they want cheese. Offer 2 kinds of cheese. Now they know there's a variety. They want 5 kinds of cheese. Well, you're not getting my cheesy shorts, my friend. I'm just giving you whatever the hell I do. No, I think we're doing well. And
why
a lot
are
of
your
people,
shorts cheesy?
Cheese. Trust me, I'm just flowing with this stuff today. Our guest today on TTBS, the podcast, is guest free, and we've been talking about doing this for a couple of months. Yep. We've got to catch up on some stuff, and then it really happened this week. There's been so much news breaking
so
out.
much stuff.
So we're going to get to that in a moment, and it includes a discussion on Crystal Umphress and her trial, which just finished up in southern Missouri, and charges of arson. One Mexican restaurant owner in central Missouri charged with arson with a Mexican restaurant in Kennett, Missouri.
Yep.
If this isn't made for Dateline and Keith Morrison, that's when they may
wasn't there
lit a fire.
Wasn't there also a suspicious death circumstance wrapped up in there? Was there anything about that? Or?
There are things I can and things I can't talk about this morning, but we'll get into them, including the fact that
there's going to be a Netflix special, I'm sure.
I spoke to Crystal Umphress yesterday.
Really?
I spoke to Crystal's attorney Russell Oliver of the Oliver Law Firm yesterday as well.
Whoa.
So there's a lot going on. And you asked, well, who's our guest this week? And I'm like, dude, it's been so up in the air. We're going to talk about the median ordinance. And I had an invitation out to the police chief, Jill Schluty, to come in and join us this morning. But I don't even know when I reached out. I think I gave her 24-hour notice. Can you come in and talk about the enforcement of the law? She said, cannot make it in Thursday. And I'm like, we've got so many guests booking up over the next several Thursdays. It's getting a little full out there.
Wow.
So I'm glad it's just you and I. We're going to catch up on some things this morning and get to that. Keep your eye on the crap I'll try to get to this morning as we have that going on. And we'll get to the big announcement as well. Can I mention first, though, before the big announcement, can I mention the whole thing about the governor of Mid-Missouri?
Yeah, I think you have not shared it since we've been doing the podcast. So, new audience, make sure you cover it.
We're only 3 weeks away, by the way, of when we ended the Tom Bradley Show on radio, the daily radio show. In 3 weeks, it'll be a year since we ended that.
That doesn't feel that.
And at no point was at that point, we were not even truly contemplating having a podcast. And it was my friend Chris who said, we got to go have coffee. And we sat down. She goes, you need to have a podcast. I'm like, oh, God, why? and look, none of this that we're doing today, none of this was in the plans at all. And I don't know what the future holds. But when the news keeps coming out the way it has been, and I got to get my opinions and other people's opinions out there, these shorts that you've asked me to do on social media and on YouTube, it's coming fairly natural now.
Excellent.
And I know you think of it from the whole digital and the marketing thing. And me, I just want a place to say, damn it, did you see the latest crap?
Yeah, what is going on?
So here's the thing with the governor of Mid-Missouri. It exists for a reason, and I bring it up not because of that to talk about it, but because people are asking me to run for some offices out there. Here's the thing. We had a sitting governor of Missouri who was sensible. His name was Matt Blunt. I don't know what else was going on in Matt's heart and in his mind and his life and everything else, but he was the governor and he was eligible for one more term. And I think it was less than a year. It might have been like 7-8 months before re-election. He goes, I've decided I'm not going to seek re-election. And that was the end of it. And his father being United States Senator Roy Blunt, who was on our show so many times, I never really nailed down Roy and said, and another thing, what the hell's your deal with your son? I never did. I just felt like Roy was Roy and Matt was Matt. Yeah. And it's the direction that Matt took, and maybe it was the right direction.
I feel really stupid that I just now made the connection they were related.
Yeah.
It never even occurred to me. Same name, same state. I feel really stupid now.
So this is what happened was I started bitching about it on my radio show I had back then. And I said, come on, people, we need somebody. You know who we need? We need United States Representative out of the great state of Missouri, Kenny Hulshoff, to come home and run for the governor's position, the gubernatorial. And I said, you need to do that. And he wasn't making any commitments. And I said, until such time as he does, I will throw my hat in the ring, and I am now seeking your nomination and your votes as the next governor in the Show Me State. And
what
I
year
did
was that? Do you remember?
I don't know, it was like 15 years ago or so.
15 years ago?
Look it back up. And so I said that, and I put it out there, and for like 3.5 weeks, I'm like, don't forget, I'm running for governor until Hulshoff says he is. And damn it, like on a Thursday, all of a sudden, bam, the news broke, and Kenny Hulshoff had announced he was running for governor. So I take number one.
It's only because of Tom Bradley.
That's exactly right. But I had some people call us live that morning, like, hey, you're on the air, go ahead. And they're like, Tom, I was ready to vote for you. And now you got Kenny running, and what am I supposed to do? And because of that pressure, I went ahead and accepted my own nomination and coronation as the new governor of Mid-Missouri. Self-proclaimed governor of Mid-Missouri. And I had people say I was already getting used to calling you governor. And so since that day,
oh man,
I have been the governor of Mid-Missouri. And as such, and I'm not relinquishing, I can't hold two offices at one time. If anyone else asks me to run for mayor of Columbia, now you know why. The answer will always be no. I'm governor of Mid-Missouri.
Governor, I can't hold two offices.
Right. Here's the chance. I'm probably going to relinquish that title if and whenever I move away from this area. But once I do, can't run for mayor and
That's right.
either. So, no, I'm not going to run for council. I'm not going to run for mayor. You won't want me as mayor. You want me to be outspoken and speaking from my heart.
Right.
And if I start tossing word salad like Barbara Buffalo does with talking points and set phrases of what we want to say today, and we want to massage this a certain way, and I'm going to be, here's what I'm going to say. Nope, bitch, get off the median. And someone's going to say, you're mayor, you can't say that. And I'm going to say, the bitch is on the median. All right? And now you see why we had to have a week where we didn't have a guest on the
Yep.
show. My guess is this is going to take us at least 45 minutes to get through this crap this morning.
That sounds good.
You say that now, there are others saying, please do not take that long. Let's get ourselves to the big announcement of the week. And our big announcement is brought to you by Midmo Dog Boarding, Creekside Pet Center, and Bed and Biscuit, and Dirty Harry's in Boonville, the other two, of course, in the Columbia area. And what a great job they do. And I've got to tell you a story. And when I finish the story, then you will know the big announcement of the week. All right? Mm-hmm. I think the story requires a little bit of some... Didn't you say on our shorts you like the... music beds I've been bringing along?
Yeah, I don't know if that's like... I don't even like TV shows unless they have background. Like, there's some movies and TV shows that they just play the audio and there's no music in the background, and I don't like it.
You need a little something there.
I do. It lets you know the mood. I was like, how am I supposed to feel right now if I
Let
don't
me
have the
let me
music?
ask you a question. Let me ask you a question. And this is going to be very personal. Love making within the Bennis household. All right? Does music have to also be playing a part at that time?
Oh, no. Yeah, actually, we've never been a music, which is hysterical because we're
Wait a
both
sec, wait a
literally
second.
musicians.
Have
so
you asked
that's-
your significant other?
No. You give me a
Maybe.
new topic of conversation.
Well, I mean, Valentine's Day's coming up. Maybe, hey, Alexa. At this
I hope
time,
you just turned on somebody's Alexa at home right now.
speaking of turning
Hey Alexa,
on.
play Barry White.
Hey Alexa, give us some music if you would for a story. And this is going to be emotional and epic, and really, I need a cinematic thriller at some point. So bring on something here for us if you could, please. Okay. This is a true story, by the way,
I like this.
and I want you to pay attention to this because this could happen in anyone's life, damn near. I share a story from the Brumman household, specifically written by Amanda Brumman. And I think really while everyone's hearts were in the pickle jar, if you will, I think Amanda's was really, really deep in this. As I share with you the story of the Great Pickles adventure. What started as a simple goat sale, all right, quickly turned into the most stressful animal sale I've ever been a part of. I sold pickles, a kinder goat buck, to a very nice woman in Maine. She found a transporter. Did you know there's goat transporters out there?
Yes.
I ran into a guy. I had a guy pull up alongside me at an intersection in Lebanon, Missouri. It was a long stoplight. He rolled down his window on his passenger side. So I rolled down mine. I said, "How you doing?" He goes, "Good." At that point, a little kinder goat stopped and came up out of the window looking at me. I'm like, "Oh, God." He goes, "How do I get to Highway 44? I go, "Well, you're going to take a left at this stoplight we're waiting for, and then you're going to..." I wonder if I should kill the music during this part.
I don't know.
Okay, hold on a sec, because I don't think it's right to have this music going while I'm telling the other one. Okay, so I said, take a left at the light. You're going to go a couple miles through the main town of Lebanon, Missouri. When you get to I-44, you'll see the signs. I said, "Which way are you going, east or west?" And he said, I think he said I was going west. I said, "You're going to get there, you're going to take a right." I said, "Can I ask you a question?" He said, "Sure." I said, "Why is there a goat in your front seat?" And he said, "I'm a goat transporter."
Yeah, normally they're in cages and like trucks and trailers. He put it in the front seat.
He's in the front seat.
Oh, I wonder if there was a diaper on it.
And there was not a diaper. I saw.
my
Well, I
gosh.
smelled. And there was no diaper on there.
Oh my God.
So it's a true story. So I've always known. And I go, "So why?" He goes, "I'm a goat transporter." I'm like, there you go.
Must be amateur or his first time.
No. He had just dropped off 3, picked up 2 more, and now he's going to drop
And he
off
just
4 and
keeps
pick
them
up.
in his car?
Oh yeah. Well, it was a quad cab. How many kinder goats can you fit in a quad cab? It's Good question. Let's get back to Amanda's story of the Great Pickles adventure at this time. All right. Sorry I had to have that sidebar, but I think it was important for everyone to know that there are such things. All right. I sold Pickles a Kinder Goat Buck to a very nice one in Maine. She found a transporter who was already on a route, and said she could pick Pickles up the following day. It sounded perfect, and I agreed, trusting that everything was in good hands. Oh, but my friends, were they? The crate she brought was too small for Pickles, so she suggested loading him into the back of her Subaru instead. Jacob offered to tie Pickles up for safety, but she declined, saying she wanted him to be able to lay down comfortably. Bad idea. By Tuesday morning, everything seemed fine until I received a text that made my heart sink. The transporter said she had lost Pickles in Mascoutah, Illinois. Lost my goat hundreds of miles from home. For reasons I still don't understand, she opened the back of the vehicle without securing him first, and Pickles darted out. She followed his tracks for a while, stopped at a nearby home to let residents know a goat was missing, and posted in local Facebook groups. At the same time, I reached out to my Kinder Goat friends. Don't you have Kinder Goat friends? Who live about an hour away from Mascoutah, and without hesitation, they stepped up. God, I can't imagine this is going on. They all stepped up. On Wednesday afternoon, I received the call we had all been hoping for. A farmer had found Pickles. His trail camera had went off, and when he went outside to check, there was Pickles, standing calmly by his truck like he belonged there. The farmer was able to walk right up to him, grab his leash, and secure him safely in a barn. That's right, he had a leash, but the bitch in the Subaru had no idea how to work it. Pickles was okay. The farmer was kind beyond words. He said he was happy to keep Pickles for a few days, as a matter of fact, as things would have it, which, by the way, is great that the farmer was able to help so much. Am I right?
Yeah.
So, he's going to keep it. I then told another transporter would be picking Pickles up on Thursday. That hope didn't last long. It turned out to be a scam. Well, let me get this right. We've got scammers involving goat transportation in the United States?
Oh, my God.
Are you serious? Turned out to be a scam. No one was ever coming. The original transporter said she might be able to come back on Monday or possibly this Friday if she could make it. And then she was in a minor car accident. Wow.
Probably from not securing another goat.
Amanda writes, that was it. I was done waiting. I got in the car, and I drove the 2.5 hours to Mascoutah, Illinois. I went to the farmer's house, and there was Pickles. We loaded him up and brought him back to our place, where I knew he'd be cared for and protected. Oh, boy. We're not finished. For everyone who's been on the edge of their seat waiting for the end of Pickles' story, here it is. The Great Pickles Adventure Part 2. After Pickles arrived safely back at our house, the buyer and I, the buyer from Maine, we talked through every option and agreed on the best and safest plan. What would that be?
They drive down?
They meet halfway.
All right.
Well, if you want to meet halfway, you'll know the halfway point between here and Maine is Belle Vernon, Pennsylvania. That's about a 10.5-hour drive for each of us. I left at 2:30 p.m. and arrived at 3:30 a.m.
Good Lord.
When I met Pickles' new owner, snow was falling softly as we pulled into a Get Go gas station, henceforth to be known as Get Goat gas station. Together we calmly and carefully transferred Pickles from one of our vehicles to the other. Good God. Then came the hardest part, letting him go and trusting the road again. After a much-needed nap, Amanda hit the road. At 2 o'clock the next day, my phone buzzed with the message I'd been waiting for. Pickles made it safely the rest of the way and is now home with his new family in Maine. And folks, now you know the big announcement of the week.
All right.
Pickles
is
safe. When you know that the people that are taking care of your cats and dogs and parakeets,
my gosh.
this is the life that they live. This is what they do. They have over 100 animals on their little beautiful family farm.
Wow.
And they take care of yours at the midmodogboarding.com. So please know that. And this is, I couldn't have told this story on a week that we have a guest.
Yeah, that's right.
All right.
I just got to say, too, the music was epic. That was fantastic. I love the
Thank
music.
you.
I
Really,
love it.
it's like you said. You have to have that.
You need the mood.
Wait till you experience it in the bedroom. I'm just saying. I want you to use that particular music
Dun, 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 dun,
for the next one. Oh my God! All right, so with that, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to play it because we need to make me feel right. Time for our guest music bed.
Okay.
Folks, we're happy to bring you guest free today. We will not have a guest.
empty chair that's over here.
Do you have our
Yeah, I have a 4 to show
camera
the empty
4
chair.
showing that thing?
We're interviewing Bag today.
That's a great way to do it. So this is really important, and we're going to get into some very, very important stuff, very serious stuff. I received a message. I'm calling it my deep throat contacts involving Crystal Umphris, Southern Missouri Boot Heel, charges of arson, Mexican restaurants, and everything else. I have had phone calls. I've had messenger from Facebook. I've had emails, and I have had text messages, all from people I generally don't know, feeding me information behind the scenes on this case. Nothing that I can verify. And people get me all screwed up thinking that I'm a journalist or an investigative journalist. I'm not a journalist.
Right.
I've never claimed to be.
We got to get the Columbia Heartbeat to handle that.
Yeah, yes.
And Columbia Buzz.
You get ComoBuzz.com with
Yeah.
Mike Murphy, and he could. I'm also not what you would call investigative. I mean, I guess at some level, but only for myself.
Yeah.
But I've had people reaching out to me. Deep Throat was the unknown contact that the journalists used when they were piecing together all the details and eventually writing their book, All the President's Men, in the investigation that they had on the corrupt administration of President Richard Milhouse Nixon. Mm-hmm. The contact was Deep Throat. I've had these contacts that I don't even know coming out and trying to share. On, get this right, what night was it? On Tuesday evening, I think it was 7:30 p.m., I get one of these reaching out to me and saying, the court case has been wrapped up, the trial has been wrapped up against Columbia. I can say restaurateur, but she's done many, many things during her career, working for a lot of nonprofits. Hell, I think the first time I had her on the show, she was working possibly with Tigers on the Prowl. I would have to ask Crystal and find out. She's been on my show probably close to a dozen times. The last 2 times she was on the Tom Bradley Show was as the restaurant co-owner with her husband, Jesus, of Casa Maria's in Columbia. She was on once to bring us some food, talk about everything. It was great. And then they introduced a food truck. And we were coming up on Cinco de Mayo, so she came back on the show, and it was wonderful. When it was announced that she had been charged with arson of a Mexican restaurant in Kennett, Missouri, I found that story. The first time I found it, it was about 4:30 a.m. And I reached out at a reasonable time, 5:15 a.m., and I said, Crystal, we're running the story at 7:15 this morning. If you want to reach out to me, you can. She did not, which I more than understood. And I only give somebody the opportunity. I'm not going to rail on her on the show or anything else. I've got to report what's happened because we have a legal entity, a prosecutor's office, that has charged you with arson.
Yeah.
And they didn't list it as accomplice. It's simply listed as arson, all right? I'm not reading the charges in front of me. I'm just saying. That was about 2.5 years ago.
Okay.
It might be a little less, a little more than that now. About 2.5 years ago. But it was 2023. And we ran with the story that morning. It was very, very weird, the whole thing. There have been updates on this. There have been delays in the trial. There was a movement of the trial from Dunklin County to Butler County. There was other things. Sometimes the news media in our town would report on it. At 7:30 on Tuesday evening, there was 0 reports available on this anywhere on God's creation. I even had the phone number for her attorney. Do you see why we don't have room for a guest this week?
Yeah, man.
But all this is coming through my deep throat contacts, and I'm not a journalist or an investigative person. So I'm like, look, there's only so much I can do. By early yesterday morning, KOMU and ABC 17 had both gone with the story. KOMU first, I think, and they ran it about 11:30 at night. So it was well after the 10 o'clock news, and they now ran the story. They used a very small piece of a story. They didn't go into detail at all. What about the Dunklin Democrat, the newspaper out of Dunklin County. Nothing. Cape Girardeau, KFVS, television station, Channel 12, they ran a story late yesterday, but nothing on Tuesday. Are you telling me there were no reporters on this thing? You got a Mexican restaurant in town that somebody was setting fire to, and one of the people accused is a restaurant owner of a Mexican restaurant, standalone, in Columbia, Missouri. How is it tied together? Well, her husband, who is now deceased, which is a whole other part of this story, because he was in a traffic accident on Stadium that took another person's life the same week that those charges on Crystal Umphris were revealed or filed. So, guys, this is more convoluted. It's more complicated than you can imagine. I reached out to Crystal yesterday, and I said, I'm just going to take a shot in the dark here. Would you like to join us on the show? I'm going to tell a little bit of this in full-fledging detail because I think I should, which is I sent the text. 13 seconds later, my phone was ringing, Crystal Umphris. Oh. So I picked it up. Crystal and I talked for about 10 minutes. She shared some things, thoughts, opinions, feelings, and a lot of things going on in her life. I cannot share them with you. But we did bring up her attorney, who has talked to a couple of media outlets out there by the end of the day yesterday. And I said, well, I could reach out to Russ. And she said, if Russ is available, I'm sure he would love to talk. And he can, I can't. I reached out to Russ. Russ is a pilot. He could fly up here. But his plane is going through every 3 years they go through an overhaul on planes. And his is the middle of that. It finally became obvious last night about 8:30, 8:45. He's not going to be able to make it. I even gave him the option of being here tomorrow morning. It's just not going to happen. Meanwhile, we're going to talk about the median ordinance in a moment. I had reached out to Police Chief Jill Schluty and said, can you make it on the show this week? She couldn't make it this morning. Late last night, I said, I'll even move it to Friday if you want to, because a lot of people want to know how this median ordinance is going to be enforced. So we'll get back to that in a moment. Is there anything else in all this that's just coming off the top of my head that I've left you wondering that you think I might be able to answer right now?
No, not that you can answer now. It's just there's so many questions left. So I feel like we need the dun-dun-dun music again.
I'll bring it back if you want
the answers.
I'll tell you, the conversation I had with her attorney, that was... I think we talked for at least 10 minutes. I was driving across town to a meeting, and we talked for at least 10 minutes. And he had talked to a couple of media outlets. They ask him one question about the trial. He answers with a 10-second bite, and they go, what about the money she owes the landlord on back rent from Casa Maria's? And he's like, what the hell? He goes, I'm not working that. That's not the case. The case was arson charges, criminal intent like this with arson. She has been found not guilty. And you guys aren't even running the story. And if you look at ABC 17, even Channel 12 out of the Cape Girardeau market, if you look at Channel 8 up here, you're going to find very thin stories. I'm not saying they need a parade for Crystal Umphris. All I'm saying is all of us who have been reporting this throughout this time, we need to give more details. And we have no details of what the hell happened in that court. The jury deliberated for under an hour. Came out and they're like, not guilty. How the hell did you tie her into what was going on down there?
And I'm assuming this is the kind of court case where it wasn't video recorded. Like, we can't watch the court case, right? It was all closed door and everything.
Well, first of all, maybe you were allowed. In some jurisdictions, you're able to if the judge okays it, and you're not if the judge does it. In other places, you have state statutes that will prohibit that from taking place. But either way, you could have a reporter, and you'd have to have some kind of reporter there to have a damn camera there.
Yeah.
And we've got nobody writing a story. Are you telling me no one was there for this case? That's really, really strange to me. So there's a lot to be talked about. Will Crystal Umphris be on this podcast in the coming weeks and months? I don't know. Will Russ Oliver be on? I don't know. But I think it was really worth and important to bring up today and chat about this thing.
Yeah.
So we had enough time to go through that for whatever that's worth today, but she has been found not guilty.
That's good. And that's one of the sucky things about the media in our country. Like, our judicial system is you are innocent until proven guilty. But I swear, the second there's even an allegation of something, like, your life is almost ruined. You know what I mean? Like, even if you're found not guilty, it seems like you're going to be besmirched for the rest of your life. That's frustrating.
Absolutely correct on that. And the part that's a shame is that we, the consuming public, we're so quick to go, what the hell happened? and that this person's been charged. You're like, oh, they probably did it.
Yeah.
And I know, I get it. And most of your prosecutorial teams are fairly smart, educated, concerned about doing the right thing. And they're not going to bring, even if they think the person's guilty, they've got to have a case that they can really present. If they think it's thin, they're like, I'm not going to take this thing to trial. And they're doing that for you, the constituents, the taxpayers, the citizens of the community, to make sure that we can actually get a conviction. Because 3 years of waiting around and going through all the crap that happens and all the money we pour into it, and securing a jury and a courtroom and a judge, and then sitting through 4 or 5 days of testimony that's crap, and the judge looks at him and says things like, I can't believe you even brought this to trial. And then it gets thrown out. This one didn't get thrown out. She was found not guilty. I want to know more. We'll see if we ever do. Okay, next item. The median ordinance has been passed. How surprised were you that it got passed this week?
I was floored. I sent you that link, and I could not believe it. I was genuinely I was absolutely expecting it to get voted down, and it was not going anywhere. I was blown away.
For the people that are in support of the ordinance being enacted, being passed, we're all on the same side of the I don't know, the kickball team here. For the others, you said, can we get somebody who was actually opposed to this to get on the show?
Yeah. For anybody that says that we're just a sounding board or an echo chamber, I was curious. I was like, I want to talk to somebody that really does oppose this, and I want to hear their rational understanding of why. I want to hear from them.
I liked your idea, number one.
Yeah.
The obvious choice would be 2 of the council people that voted against it.
Right.
But while they had been on a full email that I sent out earlier during this podcast in existence, which was last year sometime, they didn't respond back to me. I don't think I'm going to be responding back to them and inviting them on the show anytime soon. They voted 5-2 as a city council, as a political body, to enact this new ordinance. It will not go into effect on the streets of Columbia until July 1st. More on that in a moment. But it will regulate the use of medians and road crossings, the islands that are out there for motorists, for pedestrians, for cart pushers, for drug pushers, for tent campers, everything else. And you've got to, this is going to be on medians that are less than 6 feet, or it's a speed limit of 35 miles an hour or more.
Or average daily traffic of less than 15,000.
That it's more than 15,000. That it will apply.
Yes, at least 15,000, yeah.
So,
but I mean, honestly, as I was thinking about the 6 feet thing, that's like 95% of them, right? Like, there are very few medians in our whole city
that are like 6 feet or more.
Or more, yeah.
Probably.
So it's most of them that this should apply to.
And I think we're also looking at the fact that you've got 35 miles an hour and 15,000 or more cars per day and what have you. And I get it. People that are against the ordinance are going to say things like, how are we going to regulate that? That's your concern?
If there's a guy standing on the median,
it needs to go. No, not enforce it. How are we going to be able to tell? Like, how will
I see what you're saying,
someone who's out in public walking around, how will they know that this is or is not an intersection they can stand in the middle of it on? And it's like, dude, we'll figure it out.
Yeah.
It'll all be all the way through. Everything will be fine.
Yep.
The council members that voted for this thing.
I just got tickled thinking about a guy sitting out there, and he's got his dog, and he's got his chair, and he's got his sign, and he's sitting there with a tape measure that shows the median is 6.1 inches, and then he's got 6.1 feet, and he's got the like traffic statistic that show that there's 14,000. I can just see that,
and I can be here.
It's on the back of the sign. I can be here.
It's so interesting that there are people that are dead set against the ordinance, because for one reason alone, not everybody, but there are some people, for one reason alone, because there are others, not all, but some people who are for the ordinance that don't want to see beggars and panhandlers at all of our intersections.
Yeah.
Look, there are a number of reasons, I believe I got 6 at least, of why I wanted the ordinance in place. And I've never lied to you.
Yeah.
I don't want panhandlers and beggars at every damned intersection in this town.
100%.
That is
look terrible.
That's one of the reasons.
Yeah.
But if that's your only reason against the ordinance, because you don't agree with some people out there on why they don't. Guys, is it the right thing to do? Are you happy to allow people to camp out, commit felonious sexual acts, shoot in between their toes or into their arms with illicit drugs, hang out with their dogs, running loose on this thing. All these different things. You like that being you think that's safe? You're a fool. And I won't. So I guess that's the problem. Is if you're against this ordinance, I'm not sure that I've got room for you to be on the show. You're just an absolute freaking idiot.
Tom, I don't want you to hold back. Would you please tell me how you really feel? No, I completely agree. And then, honestly, I keep circling back to this. Folks, you have to understand the perception of our town directly relates to the commerce of our town. And who is the biggest employer in our town and what is the biggest money generator of our town? It is the University of Missouri.
Oh, yeah.
And if kids and moms and dads come into our town to drop off their children from out of state and they see just drug addict after drug addict after drug addict, are you going to say no? And then what happens? The college collapses, our economy collapses. Like everybody thinks, oh, it's all just no. Like, guys, this has a serious impact on us.
You know, I'll tell you something. I was in a conversation with a friend this week, and he knew it, and he said it to me. I think I had already mentioned it, but then I reiterated it again and saluted what he said, which is, there will always be homeless. It will always happen.
Yeah.
They'll always be poor.
Yeah.
There will always be those who live in a mental turmoil.
Mm-hmm.
There will always be those who are abusing some level of substance out there, and they have an addiction to it like you and I cannot understand.
Yep.
There are people who are housed. They're in homes who walk out to never again live in a home. It happens. And someday, next year or 25 years from now, they'll die on the streets. Mm-hmm. And they might die of exposure, some level of hunger, diseases they're carrying around, or the drug of choice that they've been imbibing in for so many years. And they'll die on the streets. And it will happen. And it will always happen. That's one thing that you need to understand.
Yeah.
And if you want to drive over to a corner and offer somebody some food or a free ride or a place to sleep or your last $20 bill, you go right ahead and do it. I get what you're doing, and you go right ahead. As a community, what I don't want to do is put out beacons in all directions, say, bring us your homeless, you're drugged up, you're extorting, you're all these different people, bring them here and let them begin crapping in our streams.
Exactly.
And the answer is no, we're not going to do that.
Yeah.
So if you believe that the homeless issue, that it can be solved with a specific move and it can all be gone, you and I will never agree on this
100%.
thing. For those who are on the streets and would love to be off the streets, there are things that can be done. And it is a multi-layered and multi-horizontal reach. So this needs to have lots and lots of fingers going out. And I would love to tell you that the new Opportunity Campus being built in Columbia is going to do a tremendous job. Now, when the median ordinance goes into effect July 1st, we're going to start telling people, get off the median, get out of the intersection, get out of here. And people say, where should they go? And I will answer this question. The same thing that here at Truman's on any night at 1:15 a.m. in the wee hours of the morning, they say, you need to leave. Well, where should I go? I don't
know,
care, but
you
not
can't stay here.
You can't stay here. So the police will be doing that. And we will have Police Chief Schluty on very soon to talk about how they're going to work that level of enforcement, okay?
Do you remember or know the date of when the Opportunity Campus is supposed to open?
Which brings me to a question that was asked online, I think on our Facebook page, I can't remember. And Kelly V stood up and said, somebody said, why are they waiting until July to start this? And Kelly said, I'm pretty sure they picked that date to allow time for education, but also to coincide with the Opportunity Campus for homeless people being open to offer assistance.
Yeah.
That may be both smart and kind by the city to have done that. For me, it's winter time.
Yeah.
There was snow for the last week and a half piled up on the islands.
Yep.
Seems to me it's the perfect time to say you can't be on an island. We'll start with what Mother Nature said, and we'll just continue it further. But if you choose to go the route of in the middle of July or whatever, the middle of summer on July 1st, and that the Opportunity Campus will be open, that's fine, do it. But really, there's not a lot of need to wait. Mm-hmm. What do you mean education? What do you put signs out? Coming in 5 weeks. You're not going to do that.
No.
And the homeless all have phones. I don't know how, but they do. They've all found out that this rule has now been passed. And they all know it's coming July 1st. Mm-hmm. And you know, from now until July 1st, they're going to be on every damn medium they can.
Yeah.
That's what they're going to do.
The final push. The final push.
I saw a post on the Real Columbia Facebook page, and it was a picture of someone with all their junk it's some kind of strip mall. I'm not sure which one it is. It could be retail. It could be some office buildings or a combination thereof. And I see this person laying on the ground in a heap of their junk with a cart full of junk next to them. And they're homeless. They're sleeping out there. And what was the temperature that night? I don't know, 15 degrees, 20 degrees.
I can't imagine.
I know. It's terrible.
I walked in this morning complaining about how cold it is getting out of my heated van. And so I was like, I cannot imagine being out in this garbage.
I know. And the Real Columbia posted the picture. The Real Columbia, which is now about 45,000 followers on the page, they posted the picture, and people have always said, why do you guys have to post these pictures? You guys, this is real. It's why they call it the Real Columbia Facebook page. And it's out there happening. And it shouldn't be happening.
Right.
You should not be allowed to sleep in front of that business.
Yeah.
If anybody slept in front of your front door, you wouldn't stand for it. You're either going to let them in your house, or you're going to call the police and say, get this person off my property. And then you have the audacity to say that we shouldn't be showing that it's happening right now?
Yeah.
Are you serious? And the Real Columbia is sharing the pictures that are sent to them. Nancy, I know what a Karen is. But what's a Nancy?
I don't know. I haven't heard that one. That's not an internet meme that I know of.
Well, I want to find out what a Nancy is
right.
one day. Nancy says, WTF, why does this site post so many pictures of the homeless? You should be ashamed. I'm sure most don't ask to be homeless. Maybe this person is a veteran. Maybe this person lost everything. Maybe this person had to get away from something or someone evil. I have family and friends who live in Columbia. I pray for them because Columbia is getting worse than Kansas City or even St. Louis. What? You pray for because we're posting the picture?
Yeah.
Or because it's existing? Why does this site post so many pictures of the homeless, and the site should be ashamed? What are you talking about?
Yeah.
So I don't know what you're dealing with. Here's the reality. There are homeless. There will always be homeless. It is not specifically your fault they're that way. And it's not the Real Columbia's fault that it's happening. They're
Right.
posting the pictures to show us it's going on.
Right. This is no different than yelling at the person telling you something is going on. I mean, it's literally like, why, I mean, that's like getting mad at a whistleblower. You know what I mean? It doesn't make any sense why you're getting mad at the person letting you know, hey, something bad is happening. I don't understand the logic, if there is any logic.
If somebody knows the location and they see this picture, they go, I'm going to go over there. And they go pick up the person and help them out. And that person goes on to live an amazing, contributing member of society position in life for the rest of their days. Then I would say it was great that the picture was posted.
100%. Or if it makes policy changes happen, if it makes things change in the government where things start getting moved in the right direction.
Okay, now you've heard us before talking about and complaining about the lack of journalism taking place and news reporting across the world, across the United States, and specifically here in Columbia, Missouri. And it's real. It's happening all the time. But be still my beating heart. ColumbiaMissourian.com got it right. They went out with a sunshine request, and they got a hold of some email exchanges because they thought maybe, just maybe, they should look deeper into the relations or lack thereof between the chancellor of the University of Missouri system, who is also the president of the University of Missouri. Well, he's chancellor at Mizzou, president of the system. All right? That's Moon Choi. Mm-hmm. The relations or lack thereof between Moon Choi and the city council and mayor of Columbia. They put out a story. It says, Choi, the city leaders exchanged tense emails over downtown crime. I know they did, but I'm not a journalist. I know it was taking place.
For those of us that are not journalists, just so I understand. So I know a sunshine request means it is a request of the government to provide information.
Yes, you're requesting information
from the government
that should be available.
Right. That can include emails between any city council member and stuff like that?
If it's coming from an official email account.
Wow.
Then you better believe it.
That's cool. I didn't know that.
I read from the Columbia Missourian dated January 31st, 2026, after the shooting death of a Stevens College student in the fall. University of Missouri System President Moon Choi and members of the Columbia City Council spent weeks trading barbs about crime in downtown Columbia. Those differences of opinion didn't just surface in mainstream news coverage and on social media. They were also evident in a string of emails between Choi, Mayor Barbara Buffalo, and other city leaders. The Missourian got it wrong there a little bit. We did not have everything really surfacing. We felt the tension, but now you guys have gone in.
Yep.
The Missourian reviewed dozens of pages of emails sent between the leaders from late September to mid-December. The emails, while not overly sensational, showed that the leadership of the city and the University of Missouri continued to argue over what each side perceived to be the facts of the matter. Now, I want to tell you what the mayor of Columbia believes. Buffalo disputing Choi's claims about crime going up and said the percentages that you see in the percentage of crimes are a result of escalating police work. Okay. She said the increase in percentages that you quote are directly as a result of the increase in proactive policing CPD has been practicing. She said in a response dated October the 8th, as our city capacity has increased. Do you mean the population? Our city capacity. That's a weird thing to say. I've never said what's our capacity of the city. Yeah. Be that as it may,
like
that's a sidebar.
They have the fire things that say the capacity of the occupation, the location is 200. Yeah.
Okay, anyway.
Yeah,
As our city capacity has increased and our policing activities has increased in a per officer context, it's expected that this category of crime has increased. Oh, did I mention word salad tosser? Listen, Babs,
well,
here's the deal.
The committed crimes are not... The number of committed crimes are not increased because you have increased policing, because the committed crimes are usually documented by the person letting people know a crime was committed, right? So if somebody breaks into a house, they call the cops and let them know. That number increasing has nothing to do with the amount of cops, right?
Unless
it's just how much crime is happening.
The number of arrests.
Right.
Proactive policing can also find people and learn some things are getting ready to happen.
Right.
But this is not Minority Report. You can't arrest somebody because they look like they're going to commit a crime next week. Furthermore, if more cops are out there greeting more people, there is a chance that we could maybe have more officer-related assaults from citizens against the officers.
Okay.
Because they're out there more. But otherwise, no. I agree completely with you. And this is more important than anything. The people of Columbia feel that crime is higher than it should be. And Barbara Buffalo has agreed with us on this show. It's higher than it should be. Then stop arguing when the president / chancellor at the university says, we need to reduce violent crime. Stop arguing with that. Agree with him and walk with him when he says he's going to walk on a Saturday night through downtown Columbia. Instead, the mayor, the city manager, and every damn council member did not join him. Why?
No.
It's pathetic, you guys.
Yep. And again, I feel like it's the same kind of people that complain about any of the watchdog organizations, the Real Columbia, Missouri, whatever. They're just like this. They're like, I don't see anything wrong. You know what I mean? It's like, that's not how to live your life.
And I got to tell you, if any of the council members get wind that I said, you guys are full of shit, if you get wind of that, then do me a favor. Reach out to Moon Choi, because I got news for you. I did.
Yep.
And Moon and I are talking now.
Yep.
Reach out to Moon Choi and tell him these words.
Yep.
Put it in an email so it could be sunshine requested as well. Say, Mr. Choi, Moon, Buddy Old Pal, I'm having second thoughts about not making it out to join you on that walk. Let's do something similar, and I'd like to do it together. Whether you start it or I start it, let's do something together. If it starts with a cup of coffee with you and I, or we walk through downtown this weekend, let's do something. You think I'm wrong to say you're full of shit in the way you handled that? All you got to do is change your direction now. If you think I'm full of shit, that you've been above board and so outgoing with the whole thing with Moon Choi, well, then prove me wrong. Show me that you guys are going to go out there, because you weren't out with him on that walk through downtown Columbia. All right? That's the deal. And you think I'm finished today. You think that's it. I got nothing else. I got nothing else going for me. You are so wrong, my friends, because we have just gotten ourselves now to one of our favorite points of TTBS, the podcast.
Are you ready? You got to keep your eyes on the crap.
You can't handle the crap.
Looky here. There's a big difference between shit and shinola.
As my great-grandfather always said, Matumba, keep your eye on the crab.
You know, if you walk a straight line through a cow pasture, you're going to step in a pie occasionally.
Yep.
But if you keep your eye on the crap, you're going to miss every pie. You're going to miss every pie, my friend. Keep your eye on the crap. Brought to you by Family Focus Eye Care. Dr. Rich, his incredible team. You know what I don't know? I don't even know how many people make up the teams, because we have multiple locations. all the teams and how many people are now part of Family Focus Eye Care taking care of us. I don't even know that number. Dr. Rich, I'm going to reach out to you and ask you that number today because it's a lot. FamFocusEye.com. You want to miss the cow pies? You better see them coming. And you're not going to see them if your eyes are messed up. So take care of that. And it won't be long. We are now into February. Deb's Pool will be open in less than 2 months.
Ooh, exciting.
Isn't that nice?
Yeah.
And that means days by the pool and shades covering your eyes. And it's time to get some new sunglasses. I don't know specifically what Dr. Rich would recommend, but ask him about polarized. I think it's one of the most important things you can ever do outside in the sun to protect your eyes is making sure that you have polarized lenses.
Interesting.
So check that out.
Hey, with your eyes and the stuff that you've done, do you ever have the problem where you're driving at night and you have those starbursts where you like almost can't see? Is that a problem that you've ever faced?
No, and at my age, my eyes are going through other issues in which, for instance, the lights, God, they seem bright from the other cars. To me at night.
That's not a perspective thing. That's LEDs and high intensity.
So it's both happening. So it's worse when you get to be my age. And we have headlights out there now that are like, look at my headlights. They go 300 yards. It's like, that's great.
Yeah, the deer is dead from the lights.
Right.
So, no, my wife isn't even 40 yet, and she can't drive at night now because of that. I need to get her into Family Focus to see, because I think they have glasses that can help with that starburst effect and all kinds of stuff.
Absolutely. And there are some people that have eyes, their vision is not a problem when it comes to getting your driver's license without restrictions. But at night, there's an issue. And so some people, they only have night driving glasses. They keep them on the visor. And when it's nighttime, they pull them down. And that can be one of the things. So, what you talked about.
I got to get her in there.
And the last time I was in Family Focus Eye Care, they asked me about those. And so we chatted about it.
Very
cool. I wasn't finished by a long shot. A couple of things. Coming up, there's a chance. I'm working behind the scenes to bring to you on a regular basis updates about what's going on with Interstate 70 and the huge upgrade, and I mean the monster upgrade, as they begin from the cluster, which is over at 6370, and going all the way through Columbia. Emery Sapp & Sons is in charge of that whole thing. It's going to take several years.
Oh, yeah.
It's going to take millions and millions of dollars, and it's going to make all of us feel put out. And we're not going to be able to keep up with what's going on. That's what I want to do. I want to try and keep us up to date on what the hell's going on, why, how,
I've got the death
when.
tunnel right before my house at Millersburg. Those things bring you in, and it is a death tunnel.
That's scary, isn't it?
Yeah, it's terrifying.
So we wait till we're in the middle of this. So I'm reaching out, and I'm talking behind the scenes with the powerful people that are in charge of this, and I'll be bringing it to the table. I have to say that because this is one of the things I want you to keep your eye on. Oh, boy. Columbia City Council, by the way, I read this from ComoBuzz.com. Mike Murphy, which you mentioned earlier. Columbia City Council authorized city staff this week on Monday to begin pursuing a package of corridor enhancements. We're going to spend, it looks like, about $4 million on enhancements for the corridor. Now, this is beyond actually building ramps and lanes and guardrails and signs and everything else that we have to have. They want to make sure we look just so. I'm talking, it just better look good. It better look good. So we're going to spend $4 million. Now, there are certain things that you can spend in there, that things like colored concrete. Why you got to call attention to the tone of the concrete, I have no idea. Signage, fencing, and lighting. But there are non-integrated items that could include features like landscaping and art.
Oh, Lord.
I like the fact that you're praying now. Is there anything about art from involving Jesus in the Gospels? Art and Jesus.
Not really. Actually, a lot of the people even think that artwork of Jesus or even the cross would be considered idolatry. And so, they kind of, Jesus is never like, oh, I really like this guy's painting. Yeah, that didn't happen as far as
Are you saying that Jesus didn't sit for some of the portraits I see?
No, hard. The blonde hair, blue eye guy. Yeah, 100%. That's not him. By the way, he was Jewish, born in the Middle East. Okay.
Jesus, I'm finished. I thank you. I know that you got a big Passover coming up. I know the things are going to be really busy for you this week. You and the 12 are all getting together. There's going to be a betrayal and everything else. But I'm glad you sat with me. 3 days we worked on this together. I'm going to turn. Here's the portrait. You turn it, and Jesus is like, "Who the hell is that? Who the hell is that?" Did you know? Speaking of Family Focus Eye Care, did you know that all of us humans on the planet had brown eyes, and one day, like a chicken and egg thing, one dude or dudette was born and they had a pigment change in their eye.
How do we know that?
They had blue. I read about that this week, as a matter of fact.
I always want to know how we find this stuff out.
Portraits. People were sitting down doing portraits. Every portrait. Every portrait had brown eyes. Look,
I have questions.
We did get through a lot.
We sure did.
And that means we got to start wrapping up. How'd we do? I said 45 minutes.
8:57, man. You are dead on.
Yeah, dead on.
Great job. It's like you've done this for a while.
I do what I can. We got to get out of here.
Oh, man.
There will be more shorts, more videos coming up with my stupid-ass opinions in the next day or two. So we got to roll. My friends, live this day as if it were your last. I say to you, okay.